Apple released a new product this week. It's an app. Now, it's an iOS-only app that you can invite Android friends to participate in the experience of.
Whoops.
But it is an iOS-only app. And it is, in my opinion, the most Apple way that you could possibly do this. So those of you who are my age probably remember Facebook events where you'd have an event you wanted to invite a bunch of people to, and you have a bunch of Facebook friends. So what you do is you make a Facebook event, and then you invite all of the Facebook friends to the event so they all know when and where it is, and then you all go. Huge. Right? That's how people my age used to do this.
If you were Andrew's age, you remember letters.
Yeah, if you're older. If you're younger, you probably use this app called Partyful, which is a lot of the same thing. It's literally just for events, typically parties, sure, but you just invite anyone from their phone number or their email address, and then they get an invite.
But it's cool because you can send text blast in Partyful, so people can say they're going maybe or not going, and then you basically can send updates. So you're like, and we're moving to this location.
Yeah, and this has been true about Facebook events and about all the previous events things where it's like you need to send a message to everyone who's there. There used to be a wall. Anyone who's invited could write on the wall, and everyone gets a notification. If you change the time, you could, everyone gets a notification blast. So Partyful is the newest, hottest version of that. There's an app.
So I'd never heard of Partyful till yesterday and I realized when I tried to figure out what Partyful was,
too old.
It literally says that it is the Facebook events for hot people.
I don't know why it says that.
That is weird.
But I realized why I'd never heard of it.
Yeah, that is true, though.
Yeah, we're not hot enough, so that's fine.
I literally just, as we were recording this podcast, got a Partyful invite, and the person was hot.
That means you're hot. Then you're hot now.
Oh,
I think that's how that works.
By extension.
And we haven't gotten one. So anyway,
Okay.
so that's what's that's the current state of the landscape. So Apple comes along and they're like, you know what? We're a services company. We could make an app here. They make the most Apple possible version of this.
Yep.
Which is the app is iOS only, iPhone only.
Check.
Right. Anyone who has an iPhone gets a beautiful, glassy, well thought out experience. RSVP. Notifications, comments, all that fun stuff.
You can add an Apple Music playlist.
Just want an iPhone and iCloud Plus in order to create an invite.
Well, to create an invite.
Yeah. But
you
if
can
are,
accept one without iCloud Plus.
Yeah, if you go to invite a bunch of people, everyone who has that app will have a great experience. But if you want to invite a friend with an Android phone? I guess you can, and they'll get like a web link or whatever, and they'll be able to RSVP through the web link, but they probably can't add to the Apple, music playlist or anything like that, and they won't get notifications probably as easily. They'll have to probably return to that invite link. There's just a few things that don't quite work as beautifully for the Android.
We tested it yesterday because I'm on Android. Adam sent me an invite as a test.
Yeah.
It does bring up like a web page. It's in your browser. The thing that's annoying right off the bat is you need an Apple ID to sign into it.
Wait, really?
I needed to log in. Or no, an Apple ID to RSVP.
Really?
And I have an Apple ID, but I think there are plenty. Maybe I'm missing something there. But when I said it, it said like log in to RSVP, and there was an Apple ID sign in.
If you're an Android and Windows user, you just can't RSVP to these events.
It's just like accessing stuff in iCloud.
But
like, when you're not on a Windows computer. I mean, when you're not on a Mac computer, you're on a Windows and you're trying to access your iCloud, you have to do it in the web and log in through your iCloud that way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which is annoying.
That's wild. Yeah, they definitely put their ecosystem in the front here. You can add to a Apple Photos library, and everyone can add to it
I think
live.
That's awesome.
Works super well for your iPhone friends.
Super well for your iPhone
now,
friends.
Your Android friend took pictures at the event too, but
nope.
I don't know. Nope. I don't want to see those, I guess.
There's the Apple Music playlist that people can add to.
Also cool,
but they have to, again, have Apple Music.
That one's funny because there's plenty of iPhone users who don't have Apple Music.
That's true. That's a good point. It's just one of those things where they were like, somebody else is doing this thing that we technically could take control of because we own everyone.
Just so social.
Yeah.
Very social thing.
I think it's even a step further of we control everyone in our ecosystem and keeps them in there. And then this is one more thing that has that friction of your friends that don't have iPhones.
Yep.
Let's jam it in there.
Exactly.
Think about the FaceTime experience. They finally added FaceTime on the web, so you can invite Android users into your FaceTimes.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, great. Now we can all join a video call. My aunt has an Android phone. Whoop-de-doo, she can join. But she can't start a FaceTime. And also, it's going to be in the web browser and probably won't have all of the same features. And I doubt she's going to have the Memoji face. Like, there's going to be things that aren't quite as ideal.
Yeah.
But it technically still works.
When did they launch that?
2021.
Have you
couple
ever FaceTimed with an Android user in that?
Once.
I never have.
I tried it with my sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same reason there's green bubbles and blue bubbles.
They can say it's there, but they don't expect anyone to use it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this is a very US thing. Like, if in the US, this social peer pressure thing that happens with iPhones is so clear and so obvious, and it's so obvious what they're doing here. And many other countries are like, well, I guess I just won't use that dumb app then. It seems pretty stupid.
Yeah.
So this is, not multi-platform.
Other features it has, you can use Apple Maps to go directly to the party.
Nice.
I believe you can add it to your Apple Calendar. And then also, it plugs into Image Playground, which I find Image Playground generally really stupid. However, people do put pretty dumb photos as their party full photos, so I could see this being relatively handy.
Did you see the picture that I added to this event?
No, because I
invited you
didn't
to?
join the one that you invited me
The
to.
podcast. You didn't join?
No, he doesn't like me.
Oh, you're not invited to the podcast.
I'm sorry. No, I got invited. I just didn't RSVP.
Oh. So, you should. You probably have to go home.
Wow.
No, Adam made a podcast invite, a podcast event on the Invites app. And the AI-generated photo is a couple microphones.
3 microphones.
Yeah.
Don't pay any attention to how the cables seem to disappear into thin air.
Nope.
And slightly out of focus ones are a little bit convoluted with the buttons. They
Just
don't really
ignore
mean
that.
anything. It's fine.
Doesn't
Working great.
seem to want to do anything. It's just spinning in circles.
It gets the idea across.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. Image Playground's kind of weird, and even with some past Samsung phones, they've done this where it's like the image generation for an invite. I could see that being like kind of nice. It's like, let's get a general vibe out here that doesn't need to be super specific.
And I will say, as the person making the invite, it was helpful because, like, podcast episode, what do you put for that? They had a bunch of balloons, they had like all these other things, but I was just like, whip me up some microphones.
It's the equivalent of this is like OpenAI is Partyful and Gemini is Apple Invites, because OpenAI doesn't have access to things like your Gmail or your calendar or any of this stuff. And it's like, it works on any platform and it's great. It works for everything. But then Google swoops in and is like, but we can plug in our ecosystem. And it's effectively the same thing. And I think you should just keep using Partyful, because you just don't want to isolate anybody, and we need to keep these platforms open, and Partyful doesn't even have ads.
Good luck.
I was going to say, where's the Google version of this that does put in calendar,
Google
Gmail, Maps? I guess it does have Google Music, but like Google could do all of this, and I'm sure most iPhone users have a Gmail account.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
But would they make it Android only?
Well,
No way.
I don't know what any of them are.
They'd
trying to do
you know what? They'd
anymore.
make it pixel only for 6 months.
Yeah.
And then it would be
That's way
available
too
via
long.
Launches with the S26 Ultra.
Yeah.
It's enabled by the
1 month.
Tensor G4.
And then it would be available on Google Photos for everybody.
Totally. Did you hit the subscribe button? It's behind the
Make sure
paywall.
to subscribe to us on Phoebe and like this on Turbo.
If you have a free account with a trial, you can find the like button on Doomsday.
Fubu.
Yeah, Fubu's a real company. I'm not joking.
It's hard to
You think I'm
know.
lying? It's not.
It's a clothing company.
Yeah.
Wait, it's not a streaming company?
Not yet.
That's Fubo.
It might be.
Not with that
could be.
attitude. It could be.
Fubo is a streaming company now?
Doesn't Chick-fil-A has a streaming
That
service
did
now, doesn't
happen.
it?
Some of these are like real trivia
Chick-fil-A is a
questions.
streaming service? What?
That's where they put the like button. So
We need an In-N-Out streaming service ASAP.